The Cold War was a period of profound tension and pervasive paranoia. The United States and the Soviet Union, both armed with nuclear arsenals, were locked in a perilous struggle for global supremacy. This intense rivalry permeated every facet of life, from politics and economics to culture and technology. It was an era marked by deep suspicion, relentless espionage, and covert operations, where the distinction between truth and deception was often indistinguishable. The world stood on the precipice of a nuclear apocalypse, holding its collective breath. In this climate of fear and mistrust, both superpowers engaged in clandestine activities to destabilize each other. Espionage became a grim reality, with spies infiltrating governments and stealing critical secrets. Propaganda machines operated ceaselessly, molding public opinion and vilifying the enemy. The CIA, established in the aftermath of World War II, was central to America's covert battle against communism. Charged with intelligence gathering and covert operations, the agency soon found itself enmeshed in a shadowy realm of intrigue and manipulation. This era saw the execution of some of the most audacious and ethically dubious covert operations ever devised. From overthrowing democratically elected governments to assassinating foreign leaders, the CIA operated in the shadows, often with minimal oversight. The agency's actions, cloaked in secrecy, continue to provoke intense debate and scrutiny, raising profound questions about the boundaries of power and the true cost of national security. The early 1960s were a time of heightened anxiety for the United States. The Cold War was at its peak, and the communist threat seemed to lurk around every corner. The rise of Fidel Castro's communist regime in Cuba, just 90 miles off the coast of Florida, was a major blow to American interests in the region. The Kennedy administration, determined to contain the spread of communism, viewed Cuba as a dangerous Soviet outpost and a direct threat to national security. It was in this climate of fear and suspicion that Operation Northwoods was born. Conceived in 1962 by the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranking military officers in the U.S. Armed Forces, Operation Northwoods was a top-secret plan aimed at creating public support for military intervention in Cuba. The plan's objective was to paint Fidel Castro's regime as a clear and present danger to the United States, thereby justifying a full-scale invasion to overthrow him. The architects of Operation Northwoods believed that a series of carefully orchestrated false flag operations would turn American public opinion firmly against Castro. These operations, designed to appear as acts of Cuban aggression against the United States, ranged from the relatively benign to the downright shocking. They included hijacking and sinking American ships, staging attacks on U.S. military bases, and even simulating terrorist attacks on American soil, all with the goal of blaming the Cuban government. The audacity and cynicism of Operation Northwoods are truly chilling. The plan called for a multifaceted campaign of deception, using a range of tactics to manipulate public perception and incite outrage against the Cuban government. One of the most startling proposals involved the sinking of an American ship in the Caribbean Sea. The plan called for a carefully staged incident, complete with fake casualties and distress calls, to create the illusion of an unprovoked attack by Cuban forces. Another equally disturbing proposal involved the hijacking of an American passenger plane. The plan envisioned forcing the plane to land in Cuba or, alternatively, simulating its destruction in a fiery crash. The goal was to generate headlines about Cuban terrorism and provoke public outcry for retaliation. The planners even considered fabricating evidence of Cuban involvement in terrorist attacks on American soil. This included planting weapons caches, forging documents, and even staging bombings in major U.S. cities. To add an even more sinister layer to the deception, the plan proposed blaming Cuban exiles opposed to Castro's regime for some of the false flag attacks. This, the planners believed, would further inflame anti-Cuban sentiment while providing plausible deniability for the U.S. government. The level of detail in the Operation Northwoods proposal is remarkable, outlining specific tactics, timelines, and even the anticipated public reactions to each staged event. The legacy of Operation Northwoods extends far beyond the confines of history books. Its exposure has left a lasting impact on public trust in governmental institutions. The chilling audacity of the plan, once hidden in classified documents, serves as a stark reminder of the potential for manipulation and deceit. Today, we find ourselves in an age where information is both a weapon and a shield. The line between fact and fiction becomes increasingly blurred, with disinformation campaigns and propaganda more sophisticated than ever. Operation Northwoods is a cautionary tale, urging us to be discerning consumers of information, to question narratives, and to seek the truth beyond the headlines. As we navigate through an era of digital media and instant communication, the lessons from Operation Northwoods resonate with even greater urgency. It challenges us to remain vigilant, to hold those in power accountable, and to remember that the pursuit of truth is a continuous, collective effort. In conclusion, Operation Northwoods remains one of the most controversial and shocking plans ever devised. Its exposure has fueled countless conspiracy theories and debates about the lengths to which governments might go to achieve their objectives. As we reflect on this dark chapter in history, let us remain vigilant and question the narratives presented to us. Thanks for tuning in, Weirdsville dwellers. Brace yourselves for more bizarre tales every Wednesday at 3 p.m. EST. If you haven't joined our community yet, hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop with the weirdest happenings in Weirdsville. Until our next rendezvous, never stop questioning the unknown, and keep that curiosity of yours burning bright. Farewell for now.